Good morning. This is Your Next Level with Victor Machoka. Thank you for tuning in. I'll give you 3 words today as I jump straight into it. We are resetting careers. This whole week we're talking about reset, all right? Today we're talking about resetting your career. I'll give you 3 words. Hindsight, insight, foresight. Now, every one of us has got hindsight. And they say human beings, for us, hindsight is 20/20. Your ability to look back and see what happened. Everybody has that. Some people more than others, but everybody has the ability to look back. It is so clear when you look at yesterday and see what happened and understand why it happened and all that. And that's basically what the news is about. It's about telling you what happened yesterday, who did what, why they did what they did. And you have the ability to do that. And right now, the world is in a global reset. And I want to speak to somebody who thinks their career is stable. You think that your career is safe. You think that everything is fine and I am successful in my career, and you're just waiting for this coronavirus to blow over. Maybe even for you, you've already gone to work. The whole thing is behind you and you've gone back to your new normal. And I want to tell you this. Success is rented, not owned. And the success rent is due every single day. Every morning when you wake up, you have to pay the rent to call your career a success. So you may be sitting there, you're okay, you're kosher. You're saying, Mazebi, maisha yangu iko sawa, my career is okay, my job is safe. Even if I lose my job here, I'm going to get my job there. And I'm telling you, my friend, go and check your career again and ask yourself, is my career really successful? Because when the world is shifting right now, employers are no longer paying for careers. They are paying for solutions. Nobody is going to pay you for your career. And let me speak also to young people who may be looking for jobs or you're trying to choose your career. And I want to tell you this, it is not about going and saying, I have studied to be an engineer. Engineers are paid this when they begin. Or I've studied to be an accountant. This is what accountants are supposed to be paid. My friend, that is not the barometer for success in your career anymore. When you're seated across an employer, when you're seated in a business, people are going to always ask you, what solution are you bringing to the table? How are you solving my problems? That's the only thing that is going to make sure you're adding value. So the concept of career, especially in Africa, where we have got many problems, the concept of career is so amorphous. It is changing. You can't consistently say that I chose the right career for the rest of my life. Because the problems that we had when you started your career, even if you've been there for 10 years, are not the same problems that we're going to have 10 years from now. So you have to constantly put your career through the audit process and ask yourself, is this still relevant? I'll give you an example. Right now, people are not going to the supermarkets because supermarkets are not deemed to be safe. So what's happening? They're ordering through Glovo. That guy who's delivering from morning, dawn up to dusk, he's delivering bread, he's delivering milk, he's delivering groceries, all that stuff to people's homes. What career did he get into? Is he in logistics? Did he study for transport? Did he study for communication or sales? You can't really pin it down and say this guy is a transport expert. No, the person simply has seen a problem and they have come to the table with a solution. And that is going to be the order of the day in Kenya and in Africa. And my heart bleeds for many of the young people who think that you're still going to go to school and pick a career and say, this is the thing that I'm going to do and guys are going to come and hire me for this. That is a facade. That is wrong. Get that out of your mind and begin to look around yourself and ask you, what problems exist? And that's why I'm talking about hindsight. You have to look back. Look at everything that has happened. Look at this corona season. Look at politics. Look at the medical field. Look at everything that is going on. Construction. Look at hospitality. And ask yourself, within me, what solution do I have? And now, that is what is called insight. And this is the problem with social media. My brother told me 7 years ago, he told me the future belongs to people that can manage their social media habits. And I never thought that that thing would be true. By then he was not even on Facebook. And now I've come to learn that the future actually belongs to people that can manage their internet habits. Because social media is constantly feeding you with information of things that happened in the past. Information 90% of which is unnecessary. They're telling you about who did what, when they did it, how they did it. Everyone is sending you a picture, and most of them are false, of how they look and what they are doing and where they are, and all that information is jumping at you. But the problem is you don't get a chance to sit and sift through that information and ask yourself what is important, what is relevant, and what is not. Now, social media is a good thing. That's why you're watching me even on social media right now. But the future belongs to people that will be able to sift through the garbage and then get the information that is important for you, and then sit down, switch it off, sit down and meditate and let that information percolate inside you. Mix the information that you've received, whether it is news, whether it is a book you've read, whether it is an article you've read, a video you've watched. You need to be able to sit down, switch everything off, and then ask yourself, how is this information relevant to me? How does it mix with my gift? How does it mix with my talent? How does it mix with the insight that I have? And then get an idea that you can use to influence the future. That is foresight. People that come up with genius ideas are simply people that mix the past with their ability, with their present, and then come up with a brilliant solution to fix the future. And that's what's going to happen. Think about it. I mean, even news has changed right now. How many times do you see people being invited to the studio to give a talk and for them to do interviews? Right now, guys are going online. Guys are going on Zoom. Guys are going on Skype, on mainstream media, 9 p.m., primetime news. People are not being invited to the studio. So what is happening? You have to make sure you have the right gadget to be able to do that. Guys are doing webinars right now. Guys are going into Zoom and all this other stuff. They're going into digital media to solve a problem. All right? So what problem are you solving in the career that you're choosing right now? And let me tell you something. Don't be afraid to shift your career. Don't be afraid to get there midstream and change from law to accounting. Don't be afraid to change from training to lecturing in class. Don't be afraid to change your career midstream. Who told you that you have to stay in the same career? You know, why do you have to stay married to your problem? Who said that you have to be married to that decision that you made 10 years ago? Don't stay just held up in a decision just because you spent 10 years making it. You can change your career any single moment that you choose to, as long as it's relevant, as long as you're alive. You can switch and shift, chop and change any single moment that you feel that it is relevant. You only get to live once, my friend. Do not be chained to a career that you know yourself is becoming out of date. And that brings me to my last point. Make sure that you do what you love. Make sure that whatever you do, wherever you are, find a way to do what you love. Because when you love something, you'll be willing to flow with the process. You'll be willing to change. You'll be willing to adjust. If you're a chef, you love cooking. Right now, hotels are taking a hit. You will still go home and you're going to cook and you're going to deliver food to people. If you can't deliver food to people, you're going to do online classes. You'll teach people how to cook. If you can't do that, then you're going to open a chef's training school. You will always find a solution. You will always find a way to change and metamorphosize when you're doing what you love. But if you're not doing what you love, you're going to get frustrated. You're going to throw up your hands. Utarusha mikono juu, say, you know what? Forget about this thing. Let me shift and do something else. And you will continue shifting until the day you find the thing that you love. When you find something that you love, it is very easy to find a gap for it. If you're a footballer right now, you will find a gap in the world to express your skill. You will find a gap. If you're an accountant, no matter what is going on, you will find a gap. If you're a hotelier, you will find a gap as long as you love what you're doing. So if you don't love what you're doing, then find a way to just gravitate towards the career that you love. And I know that you're going to survive, and not just survive, you're going to thrive in this season of transformation. So get ready to reset. Reset your career. Reset how you learn. Reset your education. Don't just think about education the same way. Some of you are probably thinking, I need to go outside the country. Right now, going outside the country is not easy. But guess what? You can learn online. You can go to Cambridge all the way in K-South. You don't need to leave the country because everybody's offering online classes. Find a new way to learn, to improve your skill so that you can reset yourself for the future. This is your next level. keep growing, and stay inspired. See you tomorrow.